Hi, I'm Dave Black, and I'm here with Chris Bernotas, my co-author for Sound Percussion. With so much having changed in our world, and many schools opening either fully online or in a combination of in-school and at-home learning, we wanted to share a couple of easy ways that sound percussion can be used for remote learning as well as in school.
Sound Percussion is available for purchase through Alfred.com or your favorite retailer. For a detailed explanation of the Sound Percussion curriculum, please visit www.alfred.com/soundpercussion. Along with Sound Percussion comes the free access to the valuable resources available at sionline.alfred.com. And I'm going to actually show you in a second how that works. Go ahead, Dave. Tell them a little bit about SI Online while I get ready.
Well, Sound Percussion on SI Online includes many videos to help support student learning, as well as supporting teachers whose primary instrument is not percussion. Chris is now going to show you how to access that content.
Now, when you take a look at the screen, you go to sionline.alfred.com. It's very easy to activate the software. You put in the product number on the back of the book, right into the line. If students put in the number on their book, they're going to get the content that's specific to them. If the teacher puts the teacher code in, you're going to get access to everything that's in the student book. Once you put that in and activate it, it's going to show up over here on your list of products that you have access to. You're going to see I have a whole bunch on mine because I have a whole bunch of our curriculum in here. And that's kind of a nice thing about it also, is you don't have to put in a product code each time. It'll keep track of everything that you've put in. Once you have it activated, you select the resource you want, and then it opens up, and you take a look at the menu, and this echoes the way that it looks in the book. So it's exactly organized the way that it is. And the thing about Sound Percussion is that we really did want this to be helpful for teachers that weren't comfortable teaching percussion, as well as for students. So you're going to see that it says it's for intermediate percussion, but we really do start at the very beginning of putting things together, holding the sticks, and everything right from the start of percussion, which is especially important this coming year because you might not be lugging home a timpani from school to start out. You're probably going to have a snare drum, and you're probably going to have a bell kit. But you're still going to need to know how to get started with the instruments, and this is going to help you with that. But we call the book intermediate because it gets very quick from the very beginning level to what we would call an intermediate level. So the first thing I do want to show you with that would be a demonstration of dampening or muffling on the bass drum, because it's important that kids learn this technique even if they're not with a bass drum at home. And the videos you'll see are really clear and the explanations are very succinct. I'll just start a little bit of this.
What you have to do with the bass drum that you don't have to do with the snare drum is control and shape the sound, the decay. You can do that a variety of ways. You can use your knee, and some stands have a footrest here.
And you can see the interface if you wanted to rewind it, or this would take you to the next exercise. This would take you to the previous one. You can make it full screen. It's just very easy to navigate. You go back to the table of contents, and you can find whatever the next section you wanted to work on is. I wanted to show you a demonstration of roles. You'll notice that the book is organized by skill. So sound rhythm, sound meter, rudiments, roles, and then later on effects and performance. The roles section is really well thought out in my opinion, because what we tried to think of was, how do you teach a role? And not just showing a diagram of it and saying, go do work. We wanted to actually show to teach teachers how to do it and for students to actually see and live through the process. So you'll see this sound roles introduction where Dave and I actually talk about why we're doing what we're doing. And that why component is something that's important for the whole curriculum. We don't want to just introduce concepts. We want to show them in application. And that's what you'll see there. If you were to click that video, you could see us talking some more. How about this one though? This is the demonstration of creating a role. In this, you'll see he demonstrates it very clearly, and there's going to be different widescreen pictures and then close-ups on his hands so you can also see it. I'm going to start just a little bit of this and then I'm going to fast forward.
When playing the snare drum, the main rudiment that is utilized is known as the single stroke. We call this the single stroke because each hand plays one note at a time, like so. Now when holding the stick,
Now he goes through talking about the single stroke and single stroke roll. And then he talks through the exercises that we have in the book that lead students to actually creating a roll. So I want to kind of jump to that very quickly so you can just hear him explain that.
Now, exercise 3 is how we're going to connect the rolls together. So when you start your right hand, just before it ends, start the left hand.
Then he's going to continue and he's going to speed it up and show how that connects into a roll. What I like about having the videos like this is that if you're a teacher and you're not there to show your students how to do it, or if you weren't comfortable yourself to do it, it's already here for you so you can have great role modeling on how to address that. Then we take an exercise and we show how those subdivisions, we go from that unmetered roll into showing what your hands actually do under a roll, and he demonstrates that as well.
So now, let's place our multiple bounce roll into context. In exercise 317, I'll demonstrate using the multiple bounce roll in different subdivisions. So at first, I'll play in quarter notes, then eighth notes, and then 16th notes. Now, if you notice, the second to last bar is notated as a whole note with slashes above it. This will be played exactly the same as the 16th note subdivisions, like so.
So the explanations are clear and students can demonstrate along with it. And it's basically like having a teacher with you, even when they're not able to be with you, like in our current situation. That exercise then goes into the sound combination exercise. And I'm just going to show you the quick screenshot of that. And then Dave is going to explain kind of about how the book is put together between concepts and reinforcement and combinations. And one of the reasons I'm showing you this one is so that you can see that we put the exercise by itself and then we put it into application. So Dave, why don't you just explain a little bit about how we put this thing together?
Sure. Each level of the book is divided into 3 sections. We purposely did that so that it would follow a consistent format throughout. So we start with what we call a sound concept, and that means that all the parts are in unison playing the same rhythm. Then we introduce the section called sound reinforcement, where we're still using unison, but we are adding accents and dynamics to make the exercises a little bit more musical and to add another element in there to make it just slightly more challenging. The last section that we do is the sound combination exercises with timpani and mallets only. These are recorded with only the timpani and mallet parts, and the student at home fills in the missing snare and accessory percussion parts, becoming part of the ensemble, something they will be missing. So this is a great opportunity for not only practicing, but just blending in with the other section parts.
Yeah, I'm going to show you that. You can see in this 4-screen video, and I mentioned that we have the widescreen and then the close-ups on their hands. Mallets and timpani only. So this is the student filling in the part. So now you have just the 2 instruments. And now the student, the idea would be they have their instrument, the snare drum or the accessory part, and they're actually part of the interaction with the other musicians as they would be.
Another great way to use sound percussion is with smart music. Students can learn through the videos with SI Online and can practice using their books and smart music at the same time.
Let's take a look at smart music. So smart music has all of sound percussion in it. Every line is in there, and you can play along with every line with the recordings that are in there. Whereas SI Online has the demonstration videos and the combination videos. So very easy to access. You just log in, you type in sound percussion, and there it is. Once you have it, you open up. We're going to go with percussion. We're going to just pick an exercise, and then we're going to pick our part, because now you can choose between accessory or snare drum. And then you open it. Once you have it, it does have the text that is in the book, so you're able to see along with it. Very easy to use interface. There's the standard tempo that we have put for each exercise where you can make it faster or make it slower. And you can also change how much you want counting off in the beginning. You can have the play button, which is when you're just going to practice along. And the record button is where you would be having an assessment happening. I'll just give you a little bit of a demonstration of playing along. I'm going to show you another exercise because one of the interesting things too is you can see here, this is sound rhythm level 2. This is a sound combination exercise. And even if you didn't, this would be snare drum, this would be bass drum. Even if you didn't have a bass drum at home, you can switch between which part you want to practice. And I thought that was a really neat thing to be able to do. So here's just a little bit of this, and you'll see it's on the assessment ribbon. You could pick between the different ribbons up here. On assessment, snare drum, so I'll start that. And you can see that the gray one is the one would be the bass drum part. So if I'm going to change that, just for some variety, let's play the bass drum part. So that might be a good way to differentiate what you assign students at home that you want to give them either the snare drum part or the bass drum part. So here's a couple different ways that you can use Sound Innovations online, and you can use smart music in combination with Sound Percussion.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember, for more detail on the Sound Percussion curriculum, please visit www.alfred.com/soundpercussion. We wish you all the best this coming school year and appreciate you joining us for this brief seminar.